Hey, today's the 21st of July. I think I put the wrong date. For some reason, I said the 29th of July, 2023 on my last video. But anyways, today's the 21st of July, so it couldn't have been 29th, the last video. I guess I could just, well, anyways, it's the wrong date. I don't even know what date it was. I think it was more like around the 9th, maybe the 15th or 16th. I don't know what happened there. Anyways, okay, I don't watch the dates that well. But anyways, yeah, I don't know anymore. Well, I do know, like, for myself, but I keep saying it. I don't know about people and stuff, and I guess maybe I should stop worrying about others and just worry about myself more. But it's hard. It's hard, right? Because everything's so connected. We're all so uh, intertwined in this world, in each other's lives in this world, if you like, right? Everything is connected, if you like. So nothing gets better just by me, even if I work on myself, and that's what's more important, right? This world being better or making it better for those we profess to care for, that we leave behind and whatnot, and whatever else. But a lot of people like might watch my videos if they don't watch them all and get the gist of who I am and what I'm about. Might think that I think I'm better, or might feel I think I'm better, or whatever. But as I keep saying, I know what a dirtbag I am, okay, or was. I'm just a bit less today than I was yesterday, and a bit less than I was, you know, in the years before, if you like. But I see that the only thing that might make me better is that I see that and they think they're okay. Like they hold others to these certain standards because they are somehow convinced that that's what's right and wrong. But in the end, they have nothing. They stand for nothing, right? And it's because they don't look up to anything. They don't care to. Everything is too hard for them to acknowledge. And as I said before, it's like Christians. They don't care to know. It's like, if I'm damned, they're damned too, kind of attitude. Meanwhile, like, if you really cared, you'd want to know, like, hey, am I damned? Am I damned those who come after me? Well, the same goes with whether you're getting something put in you and forcing it on kids, or convincing that's okay, or fluoridation, or whatever, right? People just don't care to know. And that's why nothing gets better. It's not the little things people do in their own lives. Always a drug addict, always an alcoholic, always this, always that. You got anger issues that are the great influence of the world. It's those who portray themselves as good but don't care about anything that matters. That would make them a good person, if you like, right? I don't know if I explained that right, but I just don't know if anybody will ever get it. So when I say I don't know, that's what I don't know. I'm hoping, as I keep saying, I keep hoping and making these videos to kind of, you know, help give some guidance. And I don't know if they can ever accept the guidance from a person like me, right? All you have to do is humble yourself and admit that you're not good. Just because you do small acts of kindness and do things that, make yourself out to be a good person, or, it's like, I was joking yesterday, and I said, I made a cake real quick. Okay, whatever. And I said, I know how to make cake, because for my birthday, I had to make my own cake, and I was joking, right? And she's like, oh, and I'm like, okay, so you got someone there who had to bake their own cake, and somebody who doesn't know how to make their cake. Who is the worst? The one that was the more wrong done to, if you like. You get what I mean? Someone who doesn't know how to make a cake, or someone who had to learn to make their own cake. You get what I mean? And to me, in my way of thinking, the person who doesn't have a clue on how to make a cake is the one that was wrong done by, because they should have been taught those kind of things when they were young, and or should have learned those sort of things, right? So, but anyway, we're living in a crazy world, and We're going to get everything we deserve. And maybe it won't come here, but just look at France if you want a preview of what's to come, right? Immigrants running amok and just vandalizing, and they're in a state of war, and it's because of the immigrants, and that's what's going to happen here, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Well, we're too civilized for that. Are we really? Civilized people do not ignore wrongs because they're too hard or too it rocks the boat or whatever, right? I don't know if people will ever get it. We're in clown world here. I don't know. I don't know, people. I don't know if people will ever get it. We're very much in a bad place here in this world, and things need to change and get better. It's like, I don't want to get into it, but the leaders in this area, they think they're going to fix what the past leaders have done. And they're going to do it in one term because they won't be getting reelected. So they're doing all these things, and when you try and rush things, you make things worse. Anybody who knows anything knows that. If something didn't happen overnight, you can't fix it overnight. So, the best thing to do would be to get the people that like you and see that you are doing good for the community, and they reelect you so you continue that path. But it never happens. We'll just elect some other moron next time, and they'll do the same thing. And I kind of put myself out there and try to, whatever you want to call it, to the person that is leading, because he had a near-death experience. And you'd think people who did would kind of see the world in a different light, but not everybody does. Not everybody has those epiphanies that come onto you or come into you after a near-death experience. Like my near-death experience was in my control, right? When I got off all the meds, as I said, my organs were shutting down, all this other stuff, and but it was in my control. I just refused. I wouldn't go to the hospital, so I did all the things I could naturally, and but it was in my control all the time. I was willing to die, like basically, but anyways, I don't know if people will ever get it. So that was my experience with near death, even on top of the other many I had in the past. But the ones I had in the past was, holy man, I'm lucky I'm not dead, from doing something stupid. But I don't know. I don't know, people. But if you want a pretext to what we have to look forward to, I think, is look what's going on in France. Okay? All immigrants, all this diversity is fine, but when you influx it with and push it on, and it just destroys everything in the process, right? Oh, brother, we're in such crazy land that I don't know. I don't think there's any hope. I'm holding out hope. I'm fighting. Everybody, I know I keep saying that, but people will not get it. They'd rather point the finger, like I say, at someone like me who sits there and points out all of the absolute wrongs, if you like, that are just despicable, and rather attack me and, he thinks he's better. I don't think I'm better. I'm just better than you if you want to ignore it. I think I'm a dirtbag, which if I could see things that you want to ignore that are so wrong, that are more wrong than the drug addict or the whatever else, and you want to ignore them, then I am better than you, okay? Because I do care about these things, and I can't not care, right? Like, we do everything that we claim we don't, right? We judge with iniquity, somebody who's, anyways, it's such a deep topic and something to try and explain to others, but maybe you need to go to my past videos. I'm not really on it today. I'm kind of like not really into this, but I figured I'd make another video because I'm going to be going to town and I'm going to post this one and the other one, so I thought I'd make a short video just to, and whatever, but it's not going to go a good place. And everything I've been saying, as I said, I may not be right on the timeline. I'm never claimed any angel or I'm prophesizing. I'm just pointing out, looking at trends, looking at things, where things are going, and knowing history and that, and pointing out what I see coming, and what's going on and what's going to come to be. And because we're not in control of nothing, they are. they can just switch it up or back off a bit, but it's still going in that direction. As I said before, I was like, they're coming after our kids. I realized that. And I thought, taking your kids from you and stuff like that when you're the vaccination. It did do some of that too. But no, it's just destroying them. But they were, as I say, I think they're already destroyed. I think that our kids are not. And they might, people get very offensive if you say that, but they're dead inside, meaning they're not connected to the soul. Just these small acts of kindness, and I'm a good person, I'm nice, and I said it before, nice. Psychopaths are nice. I'm not a nice person. I don't care to be a nice person, and it definitely shows because, as I say, I don't care anymore to the point that I know these people will get upset and sore vexed or whatever, no matter what. So I don't really care about their feelings, and I say things in a way that, you're not saying it nicely, but what do you want from me? It doesn't matter how it's said. These people just get, sore vexed, I guess you could say is the best way to describe it. Now, as I said, I don't know why. Either it's not true and it doesn't matter, or if it is true and you get upset about it, that's because you don't like it. You don't want to admit to yourself that that's what you are or that's how you are or whatever. So you get angry, and in that, does that help you change any? You know what I mean? Acknowledging it, being, I don't like that, and changing it is what helps you change. But people would rather deny and attack and this and that and whatever else. So, do whatever, but it doesn't help you anybody. If you live it doesn't help yourself. If you live your life, well, I did the best I could, and whenever something said that you did wrong in the past, that's not growing. That's excusing away what you did, basically. And it's okay to imply or say that you've done the best you could, but if you want to become better, it's best if you say, I could have did better. Yes, I could have did better. Maybe we learn to say that a bit more as we go along with it. But there's a lot I want to talk about, but I just want to make this video short. So, I don't skid anything. I just speak, and I have some things that I want to talk about, but it's like, how long do you want to make these videos? And if people aren't getting it, they won't get it. They just won't. We're coming on some dire times here, and they control the monetary system, so it's all a fake system. So when they're in control, they can make it look better than what it is to no end. You know what I mean? And that's what I see is going on, because the monetary system's failing, but they cannot fail too fast. And you think these immigrants are bad? Wait till people lose everything, man. You know the things people do when they lose everything. They go all crazy. They put their money in some stock and it tanks and they lose everything, and they go off and they do crazy stuff like do harm to their families or whatever, you know what I mean? And it's going to get so bad. Maybe not. Maybe there won't be anybody here that isn't hooked to the board or so entrenched in that system that they're building that they won't even care or know any different, and those that would be or are losing lots, that would lose their minds, won't be here anymore. I speak of the baby boomers being the worst generation, but really it's all of them. Ours is too. So when I say, I've said things like, we're always looking this generation, that generation, but we're never seeing the involvement our generation played in it. Well, I have to take that back or concede that. It's all our generations, and but it seems like if there's any hope, it's the generation I come from more than anything. Not the baby boomers, but there's no hope for anybody who isn't learning the first and foremost thing, and that's purify your body so you're not running on chemicals and toxins that are preventing you from thinking right. So I don't know if we can ever get a good leader, but there's going to come a time where hopefully these communities, little communities that have their own mayors and stuff, start to build a community that is truly a community, working with other small communities where we're basically separate from um, this the society or whatever they're building, because it's not coming through. Because there will be parts of this world, if you like, that are not going to be involved in this. They're going to be like branched off, if you like, okay, that are not, and it's going to be a matter of trying to get to these communities that are civilizations, whatever, that are part of that, and you can't do so with nothing, right? You're gonna have to have something, either your intellect or your wealth, or you know, and but if it's too much in wealth and people that aren't awake and zombies, then it'll just end up the same anyways and worse. So you know, I don't know if I don't know where it goes. I don't know what the outcome of all this. I just know there is a brighter day coming. I do know that it all begins with working on ourselves, and if you're not working on yourselves, you can't fix anything. So thinking that you can be some kind of leader that can help fix anything, you're just going to make it worse. So you know, we're so spiritually lost and dead inside. Because if you have no soul, that's the dead, right? They're dead. Only in connecting to whatever it is can you gain wisdom. So without wisdom, you have no true thought. And without true thought, you are not really truly a human, or whatever as we call it, right? I don't know. I keep saying that it's because I don't know what to say. You know, there's holding on hope. I do hold hope for this world, but I guess it just has to keep getting darker and darker so that people see the righteousness, self-righteousness in their face. Like, you know, like you think this homosexual thing, Kate, I'm not against gays and whatever. There is, you know, that sort of thing that goes on, and it has, and that's not for me to judge. What I judge is the act in a whole. And these gays say that are like act more than women. Oh, come on, you know how they talk and stuff. More feminine than women. It was Max Egan said it. Okay, it's basically a parody. Like, you know, Al Yankovic, his songs, they're parodies. They're making fun of the real thing. Well, it was homosexuals that act at, oh, come on, and stuff. They're basically a parody of a woman to show you what women are like. That is, it doesn't matter if you're a man or woman, to be acting that way is kind of like, you know what I mean? Just crazy, right? You know what I mean? Like, and that's what it is. And now these men dressing up as women and becoming women and stuff. It's a parody. It's a joke to show you what you are, what we become. You know, and I seen this one guy, he posted on Twitter or something, said, I'm not a trained fighter or anything, but you get 10 women and I'll fight them one after another. You say you're equal in this and that. He said, like, I'm not trained, I'm not anything, but I'll put me up against your 10 best women, he said. But that's just the fact of it. You're not equal in that regard, and if you're going to attempt to be, and I'm not saying that there's not women out there that can't kick my back, my bottom, my ass. But I'm saying like that. That's the fact of it. Okay, you put your best against our best, and the things you're trying to claim yourself as equals, and you're gonna lose. It's because, and in that you lost all your power because you're denying your true strengths, which I guess you don't care to have, which is nurturing and caring and all those other things, which you think you are today, but that's all been lost. Nurturing and caring is caring what your kids are eating, what they're putting in their body, that you're giving that plant everything that is to the most benefit to that plant. So it grows into a nice plant, okay, it flourishes. And instead, like, we're getting all these weeds because they're all, you know, as I say, the fluoride, man, in this town, and you gotta think, okay, well, whatever, I don't drink town water. Well, you go to schools, and what are those kids drinking? They're drinking from a water fountain, okay? A water fountain in the schools. So they're all drinking this town water that's right doped up. And I can testify that from my own accord without doubt. And anybody can prove to themselves just by purifying the body, as I say, and then adding it to their body, and they would be able to see without a doubt. But instead, no, they say it's fine. It's fine. You're crazy. Like, I'm crazy because I'm trying to say it. And it does dope you up and makes me right loopy. And just because you can say, oh, it don't affect me. Well, it is affecting you. Okay? Oh, brother. I don't know if people will ever get it. When something's in your body and you just become accustomed, it's like the norm. Of course, it's going to feel like it doesn't affect you. But to deny that a chemical or a toxin does affect you is actually the effects of it, I think. Okay, you can't think rationally and logically. Now, this video's already 20 minutes. I'm trying to keep it short, which is making it harder. Come together, people. Start making these own communities. Start coming up with solutions on our own accord. Things we can do to work together. And there is things we can do. Very simple. Things we can do to make create a force to be reckoned with in regards to everything. And it's got to be done selflessly, not out of greed or whatever. And there's nothing that can be done to stop it. And we can do that sort of thing, but people just don't want to. In 2.5 years there'll be another election for mayor here, and we'll see where things go. And hopefully I can find somebody to support. I don't want to be, but the old saying goes by somebody, Socrates or something, or somebody way smarter than me. If those who know better refuse to step forward to lead, they'll be led by their inferiors, if you like, something to that effect. You know what I mean? You'll be ruled by your inferiors, and that's what's going on. And everybody wants to become mayor or council or whatever for the prestige of it and for the recognition or for the experience and whatever else, or to benefit themselves in some way. And it has to be someone who does so selflessly. Someone who's not about the money, not about anything, but just want to help lead with the wisdom they have. And I said this before, the wisdom is not, I know this, I know that, I know everything. It's just, you can hear words, wise words, or information, because nobody's got wisdom. If you got wisdom, you know this. And process it and come to a sensible conclusion. That's wisdom. That's it. It's not, oh, I know everything. I can do trivia. I can, like, how much you know. The wise person could take what that person knows, and because out of wisdom they have in them, and that comes from God, if you like, and process the information and put it to use in a sensible, beneficial way. And you can't do it in denial. You can't. And I don't see anybody. Everybody's just too headstrong. Christians, I got it right. Muslims, I got it right. Every religion, they got it right. And no one ever considered perhaps we all have it wrong. And I said this before. When somebody sits there and says, oh, no, I'm going to heaven, I believe, you just damned yourself, okay, because you're exalting yourself. Only those will be humbled. Only those who confess their self-righteousness, meaning, except you know nothing, you're a fool, like if you like. And I've been wrong. I was wrong. You know what I mean? And if you think you're going to heaven, you obviously think the most important thing you have right, then all else is for nothing, basically. So I don't know if people will get it. And as it says in there, the only thing that will save you is confessing your self-righteousness, which means stop thinking you have it right, stop professing. If you're saying you're going to heaven, you're saying you got the most important thing right. And if you have that right, then you should see everything that's wrong and care about it. You don't ignore, you don't judge with iniquity, you don't do all the things that says you won't be. As I said before, I'd read that book before when I was a believer that Jesus says, just believe. If you believe in him, then believe what he says. He's the way, the truth, and the light. Why? Because he's the way. Why? He's the truth, and that leads to light. So, in other words, if you believe in it, it's not just, I believe in him, he says, it's believe in him, what he's saying. And they can't get it because they can't even read the book. They just accept what they've been told. So they ignore what Jesus says for what man taught them. Okay, because you go through what Jesus actually said in that book, and it's nothing that's what's taught. It says anybody who believes me is a God or anything else or whatever, something to that effect, is a fool. Okay, and a fool and God, if you like, do not occupy the same space. Same as hate and God don't occupy the same space. All these other things, right? Even the simple will be made wise. So if you're not getting wisdom in this world, meaning, as I said, not that you know this or that, but when you hear it, you're like, yeah, okay, that's true, and I better change things or whatever. Then you're not wise, and if you're not getting that promise of this world, then you don't have the promise that matters for the next world. You understand what I'm saying? That's the fact of it. Okay. Now, it's not saying that everything I say is right. I said a lot of things probably wrong that I've grown and, or maybe I said so out of my own emotions, or whatever. But it's not being able to admit you're wrong. And I get it. In this world, admitting you're wrong, nobody wants to listen to you. They want to hear somebody who has all the answers, tells them the way. It's not. It's in you. Okay. To find your way, if you like. But the world we live in is don't. Anybody who does that, nobody wants to hear, and so to admit that, you just, you know what I mean. You're not somebody worth. Trust me, someone who's willing to admit that stuff and openly confess their sins to the world, yell their secrets from the rooftops, if you like, is somebody you should want to hear, not listening. So anyway, I'm going to end this here. I don't know if this video made sense. I'm not really at my best. I have a lot on my mind. I'm frustrated a lot. I need to go in the wilderness for a bit. It's been a while. I kept saying it. And just be out there for a bit, like a week or so, you know what I mean? And I will be going, and I'll film it and stuff, make little videos, but I'm fighting for you, people. I am. It may not seem like it. It might seem like I'm fighting against you because of the things I talk about, but I'm fighting for you. Stop denying what you don't like. Don't believe anything they told us. It's all lies. We do nothing but lies. History's been rewritten. Probably the past 200-300 years ago, last time it was rewritten, and they're rewriting it again. And it'll be way easier this time because they don't have the books. Instead, everything's online, so they can just get rid of what they don't want and hide what they don't want and stuff, and people to know and whatever else. Everything is a lie that we've been getting told, and the biggest criminals and those who are the ones who are deserve to be put in jail, if you like, they're the ones ruling the show, running things, if you like. Okay, so if you want to believe them, believe admitted liars. Not that they are a liar, but they will say things that show they're open liars, and you'll believe them. Doesn't matter how many times you've been burnt. Like I made a video in the past about that. You know how many times you have to get burned. So I'll end this here, and you're listening to the biggest criminals there are. I don't know if they're possessed or what. I don't know anymore. So you better start figuring out right from wrong for yourself. All right?